Ramana Maharshi's words are deep and direct. My comments are intended to bring his deep words into your experience. Use YouTube's closed captions to read along.
This week I continue with the Ramana Maharshi text, Upadesa Saram, Essence of Instruction, or Upadesa Undiyar in Tamil. I'll cover verses 8 through 10, in which Ramana deals with Bhakti, or devotion. I'm using Professor Swaminathan's translation of Upadesa Saram. Here are Ramana Maharshi's words. Verse 8. Better than viewing him as other, indeed the noblest attitude of all is to hold him as the I within, the very I. While Ramana is talking here about a path that could be considered as preliminary to self-inquiry, devotion, even here he leads us to the highest, which is seeing that God and yourself are one and the same. He is teaching about bhakti, about devotion, and right away he tells you to hold him as the I, to hold God as your very identity, as yourself. So your worship, your devotion is not to something or somebody outside of yourself, but to yourself. How extraordinary! Most of religion is filled with gods to worship outside of you. In the start of your spiritual practice, this is beneficial since the mind can only know objects. Mental knowing is always about something, some object of knowledge. So God is the highest object, the highest thing that can be known. At most, these religious views might say that you are a spark of the fire that is God. Instead, Ramana says to hold him as the I within, the very I. Hold God, or whatever is the highest, as your very being. You are not separate. You are the same existence that is called God. Now verse 9. Abidance in pure being, transcending thought through love intense, is the very essence of supreme devotion. Now Ramana tells us that the best way to love God is to be God, transcending thought, and, though unstated, transcending the ego with abiding in pure being, and to be carried away by your love. He really opens the door to self-inquiry with these passages about bhakti, about devotion. This love is love from within that grows naturally. It needs no rituals of expression. It is just natural. It is love that reaches beyond your ego self and to your real self. Verse 10. Absorption in the heart of being whence we sprang is the path of action, of devotion, of union, and of knowledge. Absorption in the heart of being. This is the goal of all spiritual practice, to move past the small self and into that which is free and boundless, filled with bliss and happiness that does not come and go. Ramana tells us we came from that, so that is who we are now, at this very moment, and we will forever be that. Then he declares that this is the goal of all four spiritual practices, the four yogas or margas. It is here that all paths lead, absorption in the heart of being. Action, devotion, union, and knowledge. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Jnana Yoga all lead to the self.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this Ramana Maharshi video, subscribe, like, and send me a comment.